Hey, welcome. This is first video of the year after we did the entire end of the year video, whatever. Yeah, thanks again to all the participants in that video. Charlie, Alex Boulgod, and Bede from Alkredil. Yeah, I thought it was a nice addition to the yearly end of the year list and just for the channel something new. So yeah, thanks to those guys. The caveat is that I kind of bashed the last two Worm tracks on For Everglades. I went back, listened to them, and I was wrong. They are equally as great, so yeah. Warranted that it was the second or first record of the year for me, so the list kind of stands as it is for now. Let's start with a mailbag. I have some trades in here. It's going to be an all-round video, you know how these things go. A lot of things that were in transit after the whole Christmas rush, stuff like that. So before we dive into it, we are listening to Hertogenwald with Esprit Tellurique Primitif on Medieval Prophecy Records. They just had their drop. This is on Satanic Requiem, I'm seeing now. But the tape was through Medieval Prophecy. They had their drop with a new Orgblood 7-inch Cryptopholacia and other stuff. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Not everything is sold out, but close to. All right, first a drink and let's dive in. Cheers. Here we go. Mailbag. I had some mail, and this is from Skigerreich Productions. They had, yeah, something like a newsletter, but then on paper. So they have a news site, which I talked about, I think, last video or the video before that. And this is kind of a promo zine they are doing. Nederlandit Underground Forced Zwartkunstsmederij newsletter. There you go. I think the info is on the website where you can get this. But this has promo for the new release they are doing. Doldemanswoud from Fir, F-I-R. Another Dutch black metal band. There is a Nordvalke interview in here and some artwork. Great picture, promo picture for Fur. And then it seems, and that's maybe the best news, that Shunt House is back active again, and they have yeah, 3 new releases. I contacted them but haven't heard anything, but yeah, there we go. All nice and hand stamped by the man himself. So very nice to have something like this going on. There is a Vig promo flyer. There you go, with the new Skigerreich logo. And like I said, blood tire on this back, so there's going to be a lot coming out of that corner of the worlds. That's the first thing. Some random stuff. This is the a 7-inch I bought because the Black Putrescence 7-inch came out on the last Go to War X drop. This is the split with Grave Worship, 2 Australian bands. Black Putrescence is... I've been following them for a while. I have that demo compilation, but there is nothing much to say about them because I don't know who's behind it, who is in it, what they're doing. It's just, yeah. Ever since I saw the first promo picture, I was sold. And Grave Worship is an equally good band, which are starting up to do stuff again. From the Carved Cross region, if that helps you out. I'm not saying it's the same sound, but yeah. Grave Worship has 2 tracks on here, Return to the Void from 2004 and Of Black Melancholy from 2006. And then Black Putrescence is the unreleased demo 4, and this is on Discipline Records. Weird looking center there, and then the back. Kind of like a skull fold out. Yeah. 7-inch has those gothic letters running through it. Like I said, there's new Black Putrescence material. I'm not sure if it's entirely new or if it's just another demo put on 7-inch, but we'll find out soon because it is in transit. And it's still available, I think. Everything's sold out except for this. I don't know why, but yeah, there you go. Then, Kevin Zwartvit, buddy from mine from the Netherlands, once again Netherlands, was having kind of a sale to get rid of some of his distro stock. I'm blanking on what the distro is called. And some of his, just his own collection, and I bought some stuff. Mostly CW Productions or CW Records stuff. This is the first one, Furdy Dirk. weird kind of name. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but this is a November 2005 rehearsal put on a nice 10-inch. I think there's a tape version of this one, but I'm not 100% sure. Same band as, or same guys as Cirrus, or share members. Yeah, what is there to say? It's just that Bone Owl adjacent punk black metal. There's going to be a lot of punk black metal, but yeah, this is one example. Thick 10-inch, he had it in stock or in his collection for dirt cheap prices. These are not expensive records, but they are good records. Yeah. Comes with this fold-out poster. There you go. Is there more info on here? Demo out soon, so this is before the demo even. These are rehearsal recordings. Yeah, some good stuff. And then there is the Cruelty Necessary Delusion, or yeah, weird font from Cirrus. It is hard to see or to know if it's demo material, rehearsal material, because it all blends into one. But this looks like a more full-length type of release from this band. There we go. And then the logo that keeps popping up everywhere. Yeah, good stuff. Just American raw black metal with some very hard punk influences. Think Fallow Fields. Yeah. Think Bone Owl. That kind of stuff. Tapes are going to show up here and there just because I don't see tape delays happening anytime soon. So yeah, we'll see. Then Kevin threw in some of his zine. I didn't know he did a zine, but some old releases, and it's called Dungeon Grease, and this is number 2 and number 4. And they are very worth picking up. This is number 4, and they have Akitsa Down and Out, which is a zine from Australia, Forgotten Kingdoms, Temple of Adoration, and Necromantic Worship, which is you know, one of the bands that I am deeply, deeply in love with. Forbidden Citadel of Spirits, Swallowing Bile, Shunt House, and Bolfs, which I don't know, but yeah, this is number 2. Very cool looking zines, very old zines it seems, because they are falling apart, but yeah. It has Shadow Kingdom stuff in there, and I know he had some contact with Dempsey Revolt, because they kind of released material of each other. Necromantic Worship. So, Kevin, thank you very much for these. Then there were 2 shirts. Yeah, it's worth showing, I guess. They are here, so why not? The first one, and I actually bought the shirts first. This is Grand Moods. There you go. This will fit, because goddamn, is an extra large, I think. Not a large, but a big ass print on there. And then the one that is too small, but just too good to pass up. Cirrus with the logo on the back. There you go. So yeah, Kevin, thank you very much. Very democratic prizes, if you ask me. So yeah, thanks. Then 3 records that kind of belong together, kind of in the same, yeah, it's the same artist, so why not? I was looking in my collection, or when I did the update for the previous records of Hellconjurer, and I bought the 2 first full lengths and a split back then. I'm blanking on who the split was with, but it seems I always buy them in 3. I was looking at the Hail and Fire, this one, the full length. I have a frog in my throat. I was looking at that one, then I noticed I missed a full length, and then on the heels of that one there was, bam, another full length. If you don't know a Hellconjurer, he is the guy, he's a Finnish black metal, I would say, artist behind the Bestial Bursts, behind Ride for Revenge and a bunch of other stuff. But Hellconjurer is maybe his more personal project, I guess. Ride for Revenge is a duo or a trio, I'm not sure, but this is what he does on his own. 3 full lengths, there are some splits here and there thrown in together, but this is, yeah, basically 1, 2, and 3 new full lengths. The first one is Carnal Light. Sorry. They are all different in production, in maybe not in style, but yeah, maybe also in style. The first one is a very underproduced, I would say, very honest, very clean sound. Some parts are yeah, leaning into Urfaust material here and there. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this record. I think this is the most varied, but the least black metal of the bunch. So yeah, there it is, Carnal Light. It is the third one in the white full length, if you will. But yeah, there's nothing really more to say. It's just, I think this is the closest to the sound he wants to put out there. But then listening to the other ones, yeah, it is constantly changing. So there is a Bestial Burst insert, which is a bit small, but there you go. And then this is the insert for the records. Invited to the temple of the gods in flesh, dissolve the spirit, cut the skin, and let the demons in. Yeah, there you go. All 2020, 2021, embrace death to live. So yeah, he has the lyrics going on. We were listening to the Blade and Gold Dust 10-inch before we started this, and those lyrics, yikes. So yeah, that's for sale if you want it. There's some more in here. This one keeps popping up, the Tok Yatra. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's the one with that weird goblin. I got this from Bestial Burst, I got it from Single Reg, so maybe it's time to dig in. Yeah, like I said, I've listened to all these records, the three in full today, but there is more than just Urfaust going on. But that was the main thing, and that's basically in the second or the third track. So yeah, that's one. The second one is a very, I think maybe the most black metal out of the three. Very distorted sound. Everything is kind of distorted, not as much as the last one, but yeah. I think if you want to get into it and you're purely in this for the black metal stuff, I think this is the starting point. The Hail and Fire. It looks and sounds, yeah, the part, so start here if you are into, like I said, pure black metal. There's a poster with the artwork. It is a Baphomet with a snake, I guess, going towards the sun. I think he does all his artwork himself, but could be mistaken. There is no notes. Oh, here we go. Cover artwork is by Hellconjurer. I'm not sure. Photos taken by Timo Ketola. The guy keeps popping up. He is everywhere. But yeah, he was a Finn, so that explains it. Hellconjurer, yeah. If you know the guy, he is, yeah, Conan-esque figure, I guess. I think maybe the Carnal Light could double as a Conan-esque soundtrack. So yeah, it's maybe something more to say about it. But there you go. Very good produced records, all on Bestial Burst. Yeah, I think I showed everything. And then the last one is maybe the most, I don't say fucked up a lot, but it's kind of a fucked up sound, this one, because everything is distorted to the maximum. From the drums, the snare sound is almost like a tom, so it's kind of disorienting. Some of the synth work, there's dungeon synth on here, but in his way, kind of leans into the stuff Sifid is doing with the Hexenkeller stuff, but it's not the same sound, but leans into it. I think he heard stuff like that. But it's just because of the distortion and the treble and the, whatever you want to call it, the technical guitar stuff, that it kind of sounds like that, just because it's so, yeah. It bleeds all in together, but you can hear what he's doing, so there you go. Sinister, latest full length, and this is from 2021. That is the guy himself. Muscles and spandex, if you're into that shit. Once again, the goblin shows up, and then this is the insert for that record. There you go. But yeah, that is the 5th full length for him in not 5 years. So yeah, he is a busy bee, this guy. Once again, just on black. New Era did a bunch of his tapes. I think they had a tape box for him. So it is out there, the stuff, and these are all pretty accessible records to get. So if you are into, it's not the standard Finnish sound, it's more, Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe. It's definitely not the classic Finnish sound. It is sound. It is a very personal project, very personal sound. If you know Right for Revenge, this is the offspring, so in that category, but it's not classic black metal. Some of it is, some of it's not. You know what I'm saying. That's it for part 1. Okay, part 2. Nice editing by Adams, thank you very much. We are listening to Doodsdrek. Put binnen of all titles. It's, yeah, I don't know how to translate it. It's into the grave, but in a way that only guys from Lugubrum can handle. This is Zwijn en Midgaars, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry, Barditus and Zwijn. So older folk from Lugubrum doing their thing. It is Lugubrum adjacent, but yeah, not like always. These 2 tapes, this is the demo tape, which will come up soon. I'm going to handle the tape delay in some way, I'm not sure how, but we'll fit it in. So these are both by Haunted by Ill Angels, a Belgian label. I don't know if that will show up. Yeah, there we go. A Belgian tape label that does stuff like Zwarte Dood they did, and the Ish something that I'm blanking on, and also Doodsdrek for Lugubrum fans. I think they are still available, but I'm not sure. It's the people behind Cosmocrator that are doing that label. Okay, so part 2. Part 1 was a little rusty. It's been a week since we did one of these, so let's see if part 2 will be better. I've been told it was not rusty at all, so maybe it's all in my head. These 2 are random items thrown into bigger orders. The first one is Ringarry with Troll of Winter's Majesty. The 2 previous ones came out on Iron Bonet, if I'm not mistaken. This is an EP on Amor Fati. I've listened to it a few times digitally, and then I've listened to it just now with my buddy Dan, who was sitting right over there, who had to leave. We listened to the side A, and I don't know, I'm not completely sold. It's very melodic. It is very, yeah, a very warm type of black metal, I would say. But then the B-side, Troll of the Winter's Majesty, which is the title track, really exploded into what I like about this kind of thing, and what I like about Ringarry, actually. In love with the first 2 full lengths, so maybe it's, yeah, maybe it's just listening more, I'm not sure. But here we go, Troll of Winter's Majesty, nice silver foil stamped all over the thing. So yeah, the sleeve is really nice on Amor Fati, like I said. There we go, lyric sheets. And I think it's considered an EP since it's a 4-track record. Witness to Winter's Lament. I don't know what that is. Or's Winter's Shroud, I think. And then Troll of Winter's Majesty, a Paean for Endless Snow. Sorry, there we go. USBM on European labels, as it goes. Yeah, nothing really more to say. Like a very melodic type of black metal, akin to some of the stuff that Europeans did in the mid-90s, but with enough of its own to create the beast that is Ringarry. It's not my favorite of them, but it is not good. So yeah, there you go. Then, a record I told myself I wasn't going to get, but here we are, the new Ifernach. And it's called, I have to check, Capitulation of All Life. I was waiting for the tape to show up, but then one of those nights I was browsing New Era, and there it was, it showed up, so I just grabbed it. It seems Ifernach went from a one-man project into a 3-man project, because we all know by now the Finn Patriarch, but then there is, okay, hold on, Mordum Machinator Metech, something like it, and Dark Darach of Doom. They all look, I'm not going to say what I was thinking, but yeah, I don't know. Hieronymus Bosch, the cover is a bit better, but yeah. The good thing about this is I always loved Ifrenach. I think the Bloodbone Skin, I never remember the title, but that record is the benchmark for Ifrenach, especially for his solo stuff. I think the addition of those two extra musicians make it that this is a full band. It is a more fuller sound, which he was never into the raw category of black metal. It was always a bit more produced or a bit more worked out, but this is a new beast. The two last, Le Grand Départ and Finian Sword of Redemption, are kind of misplaced maybe, because it's black metal side A, black metal side B, and then Le Grand Départ is more of a dungeon synth tune, and then the Finian Sword is this ambient track that is built upon the structure of black metal but never really explodes. So if they would be thrown into, I don't know, maybe just into the tracks, it would be a different record. But the sound on this, or the way they play, is very good. Snare is also a bit weird because it has that tom sound which makes it booming, and if you know the Ifrenach sound, it's maybe a departure of the of what you know, even of what it was, maybe, I'm not sure, but yeah. There you go. Northern Canadian black metal, and I think it's kind of a departure for them into a new sound. I see the entire scene kind of pumped up because they had that compilation on Asgard also, so it is not longer the secret that it was when those tapes came out on Tour de Garde and the other Canadian label that I'm blanking on, but there we go. I think if you mix social media with black metal, and maybe the stuff I'm doing, nothing stays secret for long, so yeah. Stilbederf is what they call it in Dutch. But Ifrenach, yeah, new chapter, new sounds. It's not a complete departure, but it's just their sounds times 3, something like that. Yeah. There you go. Once again, that picture is, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck this is, but it's like he has a swimming cap on his head. Not good. Then, 2 records. I made a joke in the last video, I think, or in the end of the year video, that me talking about Le Goubroom is maybe becoming a drinking game because we did a ton of videos or a ton of hours on this band, but one of the things I was going to do in 2021 that I promised myself in 2020 was to get more Le Goubroom into the collection, and that's exactly what I did. For once, I kept my promise. And these 2 are just loose buys from, I think both one is Discogs, one is from a friend of mine. The first one is Le Goubroom with Heilige Dwaze. I think 2005, 2006 on Old Grey Hair Records. Low-key for me, it's one of my favorites. It's hard to pick a favorite because the next one is basically in my top 3. But this one is, it's black metal, but it has a lot of the Le Goubroom sound woven into it that doesn't necessarily make it black metal. If you know Le Goubroom, you know what I'm talking about, but this is one of their mid-period records before they went completely not black metal, if that makes sense. The tracks on here that are some of my favorites is the Kiss the Anus, which I said it before, I think in the video with Yo, is a track that the guys from Millionaire have to know, because Champagne, that track is 100% lifted from this track. It's impossible not. And it spawned another band, Kiss the Anus of the Black Cat, from Belgium. So I think a lot of people, it's low-key an underrated record for Le Goubroom, but I think a lot of people really adore this one because it has too many links not to pop up. Holy Fools embodied the kiss on the anus at the base of their tail. Through chained we slyly sucked stolen bread on animal meteorites. So it is top Le Goubroom. There you go. It is nothing special. There is no limited edition or no patches that come with it. It is just, you know, like a vinyl. But it has a ton of people playing on here. I'm not going to read them all. I'll just show it. You can pause it because the image is more than crystal clear. But yeah, another Lugubrum to add to the collection. And this came, yeah, from a random Discogs guy. It wasn't expensive, so that's a win. And then one that is in the top 5 for me is Ghemist by Lugubrum, and this is on Paniac Records. This is from 2001. Yeah, recorded 2001, limited to 400, and this is 194. Great cover by the guys, and this is a recreation of a Hieronymus Bosch painting. Second Bosch cover in this video. Maybe the pinnacle of their black metal sound. I know a lot of people have the Bruine Kroon and maybe some other records, but I think this is where they reached peak black metal, or brown metal, if you will. There are no farts on here. There is very little toilet humor on here. This is just balls to the wall. It goes even into some chaotic dissonance. So yeah, it has everything you would love about black metal. HTTP drink to Lugubrum. That's the first time I saw this one. Your discomfort and damaged speakers nourish Lugubrum eternally. So yeah, I don't know what more to say about this band. I got this from Sydney, from Rampart Immortel, a Belgian label that has done a slew of cool releases on tape. So Sydney, thank you very much for this. Yeah, basically very cheap Lugubrum classic. But there you go, 2 more additions to the ever-growing Sydney. Thank you. And then the part I was dreading, because we are going to talk Russian and we're going to talk Cyrillic. I have to drink for this. There you go. 2021 was basically the year for Horrible Room, which is a label out of Russia. They came on my radar, I think, through the Sidecut Slave tape on Fellowfield and maybe talking to Charlie. It is the Pleskow Brethren Circle, and Pleskow is a town in West Russia, which is one of the oldest towns. It's from 903. It's the first notice of that town, so it's very old. Horrible Room is a label that does their releases and other releases. The 2 main bands, or the bands we're going to talk about today, is, and this is roughly translated, Cuckoo Crest, which I'm going to show the records on, and then Leshy. And like I said, it's all in Cyrillic. It's very confusing, so let's try to make sense of it all. Like I said, Horrible Room is the main label, or the main hub for everything they are doing. The Cuckoo Crest, it means crooked cross or swastika. It is what it is. The 2 things they have now, they have a split with the Leshy, the second band, or the first band, whatever you want to call it. But the Cuckoo Crest is the more, if you want to be blunt about it, it is that punk Iljarn-ish stuff, but I'll defend why it's not Iljarn stuff. Like Legion Blotan, like Natatale, you know, the hubs, punk, black metal that keep popping up everywhere. I think the Cuckoo Crest, this one, is the one that slides into that slot. This is the demo put out through New Era, and this is the full length. Why is it not Iljarn or pure Iljarn worship? Because it's more than that. It is not just the basic 1-2-1-2 punk non-music stuff. It is very musical. It draws upon, and I'm talking about Leshy a bit more than about Cuckoo Crest. It draws more upon, a pure black metal state than just pure punk. For the Cuckoo Crest, or the Crooked Cross, it is more yeah, street punk, I would say, a bit of oi, more than just Iljarn worship. So the early demo and even the split material is very that kind of thing. Oi, street punk, a bit of Iljarn just because it's for good measure, it's thrown in. But the farther they go into the full length, it becomes more musical, it becomes more influenced by black metal. And I have to give the advantage to the Leshy because they, that is a pure black metal project. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have seen it because it's the tape with the white sun with the sword going through its eye. It was in my top, not on vinyl. It is the best demo that came out. It just kept climbing up the ranks. And it's, for not on vinyl, it's definitely in my top 5 2020. It draws on Swedish stuff like Behexen, like Horna. It draws on stuff from Gorgoroth. It definitely has a French influence like Signor Volant, which they did the self-titled tape on Horrible Room. So yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving, if you will, because it keeps on going. They now have a split with Black Groot, which is on Nistang. So yeah, there is a lot to unpack, and there will be more in the coming days because they have more projects than just these two. Like I said, the Batcave skins with the it's not ending. It's never ending. I'm in contact with one of the guys, so I know some stuff here and there, title-wise and translation-wise. But it's hard because everything is in Cyrillic, so it's hard to make something really stick. Where am I? The thing that I wanted to, because it's coming out, or it's basically sold out, but it's still coming out, the Bat and Skull tape, which is on Nitstang, an alliance colder than the Cold War. That thing is incredible. It is, I can't even explain, it's too new to really explain it, but it has, yeah, it's a sound that I haven't heard, I think, anywhere, so check that out. Me and Charlie called it the Bat Skull Green Tape, but it's basically the Little Bat and Kid Deadhead translated, but the translation is horrible. Now, into the Cococast. I'll talk about the Leshy when that comes in and the other one. But just to give you a, get to know the label maybe a bit, that will switch. So yeah, into the Cuckoo Crest. The first one is just the self-titled demo, and as I said, the demo is more of that street punk oi. It goes into some stuff like maybe the Gabstock is doing, or something like Devil Master. It has that, not that 80s slasher thing that Gabstock has. It has those synths here and there, but all in all, I would say this is more weird, more unhinged, and more wild than all of those things. So it's comparable to Gabstock, but it's not as flowery, if you will. It's just, and it could be that I'm just thinking about what Russia is as a country or as a culture, and then comparing it to this. But yeah, it is some good shit. And you don't have to go wild about it. It's just black metal punk, but it's one of the better black metal punk demos that came out last year. So yeah, cover, back cover, everything in Cyrillic. There is some stuff you can find on YouTube on translation and stuff like that, but nothing too wild. Limited to 100. This one is not numbered. Don't ask me why. Straight from New Era. The record itself is black. What's up with this? Stop. Kastijdig, Radiant Vuur, just because it's still there. The record is just black. It has the logo of Cuckoo Crest pasted on, and then the New Era. Feels like a test press, but it's basically a official release. Tape came out on Horrible Room, and I think one more, but I'm not sure who did the tape version. But yeah, this is the demo. The full length is a different kind of beast because they took a step forwards in the same direction as Leshy. It is not as black metal as that, but it has more influences from all over the place. This is the cover. There you go. The Pleskow Brethren Circle is basically them two doing all of the stuff. Brethren, so maybe they're brothers, I'm not sure. It could be blood brothers or, you know, just as we are brothers, I guess. But yeah, this is their first full length. The tape made some rounds and yeah, sold out very quickly. One of the guys has a Nachtlicht shirt, so you know where their alliance is. Also just on black. Let's not drop all this shit. Also just on black, and it has this weird ass logo. There you go. It is roughly translated as Domovina, which then again translates into English as coffin. So this is the Cyrillic way to write it, and then this is the Leshy and other tapes. There's definitely a lot to unpack, but yeah, if you are into all of this stuff, it is very worth getting into. Sound-wise, it starts off, and a lot of their records have this. It starts off, basically this is the first 4 tracks, I would say, are the Oi, street punk, maybe a bit Iljarn worship, mixed with black metal, but then something happens, and for this, it's this weird Russian trumpet that sounds in the second side of this record, and they all have it. The second part of all those records is, yeah, the B-side, if you will, is basically much better than the A-side, which says a lot because the A-side is also very good. But it has this trumpet that sounds in some doom part that goes into, what did I say? Trumpet into doom part, and then it goes into this mid-paced black metal, basically a black metal riff that just gets pulled back into punk just because of the mid-paced drumming. It then goes into tribal drums. It goes all over the place, and then it's the last thing is this. One of the 2 guys, I'm not sure. I think, yeah, the singer goes into this Russian croaking chant that just, you know, kills this record. So yeah, definitely a great full length. There's nothing more to say. I'm completely in love with this entire circle or this entire project. Yeah, we'll see how far we can go with this or with these guys, but yeah. Last thing, as a true fanboy, there you go, straight from Russia, the long sleeve. We went all out for this one. Thank you, Adams. We are in the closing section of this video, part 3. Since this is not only a video channel and I now have production, thanks to him, we are also a Spotify channel now. So if you hate my mug, which I understand, you can also listen to it if you're on the go, if you want to listen, you know, just to my voice talking about this stuff. We are also on Spotify. I'll drop the link down here somewhere. We have been retroactively putting the interviews on there. The 2 Charlie interviews are on there. I think Worm is on there. One more maybe? I don't know, but we're thinking about putting the Alkredeel interview on there and maybe the Grondwerk stuff, so we'll see. We're in the beginning stages of White Filth 2.0. We dropped the vinyl, that's a new thing, so we'll see where we go from here. To all of you, thank you. The end of the year video skyrocketed. I don't know what that means, but you know, a lot of views is basically good. We are not having commercial stuff. So yeah, it just means that a lot of people are enjoying this, which is my only goal. We're going to listen to some tapes, we're going to drink some beers, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
It's